You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona. With me always, my good friends.
Jay from the hills of Texas.
And Shannon G. in Mesa, AZ.
And welcome to our podcast. We appreciate you listening to us this week. We are asking if you would to give us a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe on our YouTube channel and our Facebook listeners group. We appreciate your support, and it always helps our channel to grow. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm just getting over kind of a little stint in the health department. My wife and I had a trip coming up for a birthday of one of her friends, and we got to the location and went out to dinner, and I came home with some huge stomach bug that put me in bed the rest of the trip.
It wrecked
so
you.
It did. It wrecked me. I was wrecked. Fortunately for me, nobody else got sick, and they all went and enjoyed the festivities, and I got to lay in bed shivering and temperature, and my gosh.
Did you eat the fish? Is that what it was?
No, I actually had chicken, but there was these shishito peppers that I just kind of got into, and it did not help the situation at all. So, not that I don't suggest eating shishito peppers. I like them, but I can't say with any confidence that they contributed to any of that, but gotcha. They did not help. That's for sure.
Did you leave a tip?
They do not taste the same going down as coming up. So,
did you leave a tip for the maid who had to clean up your room afterwards?
Yeah, we did. I felt bad for that lady.
Some chocolates on the pillow.
Mm-hmm. Well, we left something on the pillow. They were chunks of chocolate. Anyway, all right. We don't want to go down the road.
Come on.
But anyway, I apologize. It sounds a little bit kind of lost my voice, and I'm just getting it back and recovering. So the good news is, recording this a little bit in advance. The FA. Let me start this over here because we're going to talk a little bit about the scale competition over in Romania. And this is the 2024 FAI F4 Scale World Championship. It has the classes the F4B, F4C, and F4H. It's being held 10th through the 17th of August in 2024. By the time you hear this podcast, the event will have been over. But we have we have a U.S. team, and we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it. It's being held in Ploiești, Romania. There is a website that you can go to and check out all of the stuff. There is 18 countries involved, a total of 106 attendees. Each team out of the 18 has most of the teams have a team manager, and they have 1 to 3 competitors in the F4B senior, F4C senior, and F4H senior. The Ukraine has 2 F4B juniors, so that's pretty exciting. I know it's always hard to find young kids that want to build something from scratch, or at least put something together to be judged, as opposed to just jumping out there and flying it around. And there's 19 volunteers to help the teams, so that's pretty amazing. So 106 total attendees. It is the Romanian Modeling Federation in cooperation with Romanian Aero Club and the military authorities. It is being held in Ploiești, which is just about 82 kilometers north of Bucharest, Romania. So that's pretty amazing. It's the same place that the World Championship in 2016 took place. The weather looks favorable for the contest. Today is, at the time of this recording, is day 2 of the contest. Some of the rules: championship will be run according to the FAI Sporting Code 2023 edition, the CIAM General Rules, and Volume F4. They do have a code of ethics, which includes anti-doping. If a competitor is taken by a medical condition and any substances that are listed on the WADA prohibited list he or she has to put in for the use of an exemption, which I thought was pretty crazy. I mean, I guess any competition on a world level scale, you would need some sort of an anti-doping statement, but I just, I never really thought about that, but maybe if I dope my thumbs or, I don't know.
Or you have to touch a plane wing, put some dope on there. What do you mean?
Right. I know we're kind of making light of that, but that's amazing that these guys, they take it serious enough to.
If you just want to get a little more amped up for your flying, fly it right
Yeah,
on the
I
edge,
know.
just a little something
so.
for that. So, that's all.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we're gonna probably instill an anti-doping policy now for AEF going forward because
that's probably pretty good.
Which will put all of us out of it, so we won't even be there.
Yeah, man, I'm not going next time, man. No way.
So you're saying I can't bring mushrooms? It's terrible.
Mike and his shiitake mushrooms, man.
I know. I had a whole bag of them. Maybe they're had a whole bag of shiitake mushrooms over there.
Oh boy,
they were dried. Let's see. You have to have a FAI sporting license. Each competitor and team manager must possess the FAI sporting license. It's valid for the year of the championship. License must be registered in the FAI license database, and the holder of the sporting license may be required to produce the official document bearing his photograph and a signature as proof of identity. So pretty serious. Official language, English and Romanian, and then it basically gives a list of the juries. Most of the guys are Norway, Romania, Germany, Spain. Those are all juries reserve guys. The judges are the Polish, Czech, German, Norway, US. Italian. Stan Alexander is the U.S. Let's see. There are no Russian judges. Nope. The F4B flight is a Polish chief judge. The F4C and F4H flight is a French chief judge, and French and Great Britain. So the F4H is French and the F4C is Great Britain. And then static F4C is Norwegian. He's a chief judge. And the static F4B and F4H, Stan Alexander, is USA. He's a chief judge for that. This is an interesting statement. Each nation, this is kind of the composition of a national team. Each nation, Aero Club, National Federation member may enter a team consisting of a team manager, a team manager assistant, senior competitors, maximum of 3 competitors, or a maximum of 4 competitors if at least one competitor is female. Junior competitors, age limit is 18 years. They have to be at least 18 in the year 2023. A maximum of 3 competitors or 4 competitors if at least one competitor is female as well. According to the sporting code, the reigning senior world champion, according to the code, and the reigning junior world champion can also be on the team. So very, very cool. We have a team there. Obviously, we have, I think, 6 members or 3 competitors, I guess. We have 3 in the senior. 3 in the senior. What do we have? I think the FB and the F4H are the same. Maybe.
I think so.
One might be like the pilot, and the other one's a static or something. So I have to read some more. But anyway, let's see what else. The flight line, they use both RC classes. This is interesting too. Only the Spectrum 2.4 gigahertz is allowed.
No, that's interesting.
For the radio systems.
I wonder why they do that.
Yeah, it's only 2.4 spread spectrum radio control system. So you don't have to have the spectrum radios, but you have to have the 2.4 spread spectrum. Because I know a lot of those Europeans use Jetty radios for, more power. But the power output can be up to 100 megawatts or milliwatts, I guess.
Milliwatts.
Megawatts. They can control it from the other side of the planet. The other side of the planet.
Yeah, it's FPV.
You turn it on and the lights go out. I got this big radio, this big cable coming out, going to a generator.
They're flying FPV
funny.
from the U.S. It's like a
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. I'm doing it right from my shop.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Looks like on the 8th they arrived. Registration, practice flights on the 9th. Arrival of judges and jury members, practice flights, model processing. Saturday, Sunday, they do practice, judges briefing, first team managers meeting, and the opening ceremonies is on Saturday, August 10th. Sunday, 11th is static judging. Monday is from 9 to 6 is static judging, and then they also do competition round 1 for the F4C and the F4H. Tuesday continues through Wednesdays continue, Thursdays continues, Friday, Saturday is the competition flights for all of the F4C, F4H, and F4B. And then Saturday the 17th is closing ceremonies and a banquet, and the official prizes are awarded. And then Sunday they head out. So
I wonder how many planes they actually bring.
That's a good question. I think currently there's, didn't you say you had some Facebook photos there?
Yeah, so looking at the Facebook photos, I mean, it's dozens of planes. So I think every competitor has at least one. So it's probably over 100. And like how they're all set up in a real hangar, and they've got, at their respective tables, they've got the table draped with their national flag, and then the plane sitting on top, and it's really cool.
Yeah, because I'm thinking they would have to have at least, have their plane in a spare. You would kind of think, right? Just in case something happened.
I don't think you're allowed to have.
I don't think you're allowed to have spare.
No, it's not like not like stock car racing.
Right. There's no backup.
Yeah, it's you rung what you brung, and and I know just from following our team, they packed everything up in these road cases like you'd use for a concert tour. And it's like Iron Maiden going on tour,
right?
And hoping they got there in one piece, which it looks like they all did, so that's good. But I don't think you could afford to have 2 of each. It's not quite.
So our team has someone competing on it that you have a personal relationship with, actually.
Yeah, so Tim Dickey, one of our club members and one of our board members at Arizona Mile Aviators, and also he ran the last Gunsmoke, so he was the CD for that. So he became very heavily involved in scale. Tim's only been in the hobby for about 6-7 years, I think at most, and he went from flying a foamy Trojan, the little the 1.5 millimeter, the small one, to he's competing at the world level, and he did that very, very quickly.
Crazy.
So it's really cool. I mean, that if anything, it proves anybody can they really put their heart and soul into it. You can do this. But Tim's been really, really cool with. He would bring the plane out as he was building it, and what Tim has one of the Wacos. I think it's a YKS, where it's got the fully enclosed cabin. And for this level of competition, Gunsmoke, and I had the foamy like it's in your background. That's what I flew. Tim built this plane. It's welded aluminum for most of the fuselage and parts of the wing. It's balsa, it's spruce, it's whatever the real airplane used, because he built this thing off of the real plans from Waco. He has it's modeled after an existing plane. He went and saw that plane and took pictures and measurements and scaled everything, and it took a while for him to get the weight to be within something. He's got a real radial engine in it, just like the real one does. The cockpit, the combing, the stitching. I mean, he did all of this by hand. He learned how to learn well aluminum, for one thing, on a small scale. That's a challenge in itself.
That is a challenge, because I used to work with a welder, and that's one of the hardest things to do is to weld aluminum.
Yeah, and hiding all of the RC stuff. We've got servos hanging on our wings on most of our planes. All his stuff's hidden. You can't see it. It's covered like a real aircraft. It's fabric covered, all the stitching and everything. I mean, he just put so much in. And, I've been to his shop when he was working on it at different times. And just the dedication, I really admire. He's really a huge inspiration. When he was embarking on this, they were having a raffle because, it's expensive, and, even if you got a decent income, you don't plan on flying 3/4 of the way around the world and hauling
Sure.
all your RC stuff, but it's really cool just to have somebody that's local to your club and was willing to share. He'd bring that plane out all the time in different states, and it was just really cool to see it kind of get built up, and then see him fly it. He actually had to fly it a couple times, get comfortable with it, but it's a beautiful aircraft. I mean, just Wacos in general, classic.
Yeah, they are
airplane,
classics.
but the detail that he put into it, like if you didn't know any better and you saw a picture of it from a distance, you'd think it's a real one. It's that close.
Yeah, well, Shannon and I were talking before the podcast, going over some show notes, and we mentioned too. I think Shannon mentioned to me that Tim's Waco is pretty large. It's it's a pretty sizable airplane for the club, and yet it was very small in the overall scheme of things compared to some of these other airplanes that are being judged.
If you look at the pictures, if you go, there's a few places. If you go on Tim Dickey's Facebook page, he put you on there. Tons of pictures. He's taking pictures of all the aircraft there, and there's a little different size level that I think that the Europeans kind of get away with. We have some restrictions, and you have to get a waiver in over a certain size, and just I think our facilities we fly at, we kind of build to a certain size, maybe a little bit bigger, but some of these planes that they build in Europe are just ginormous. There was a Venom jet, and I think it took 2 tables to hold it. That's how big it was.
Wow.
And as much detail as Tim's put so much detail. I mean, the weathering and everything. Looking at some of the other planes that I've seen, comparable planes of ours here, just the level of weathering. Like again, it's mind-boggling. I wish I had that much time to. I got frustrated with a charcoal pencil filling in, the lines on the Trojan,
no doubt,
and spraying it down, playing, that looks good, that's all right, but, it's like a Monet. From far away, it looks okay.
Sure.
Up front, it's a real mess, but up front or far away or close, these guys, I mean, it's just amazing. So I'd love to go and be a, spectator, even
Sure.
just a spectator at some point. So
yeah.
I just love scale, which you guys know it's a big part of my part of the hobby, and I'm trying to get to that. I don't know if I'll ever get to that level, but just the inspiration's definitely there. So
Right. Well, that is an amazing feat, and we'll have to talk to him when he gets back and get his take on what it was like, because this is his first time at a Worlds, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, he just started a few years ago, and boom, he's already at that level.
That's crazy.
He's had a lot of help. Charlie, I can't remember his last name, but he's a huge person in the scale world. Kind of took him under his wing, and Charlie just showed him Charlie's won dozens and hundreds of awards for scale across the country, but I think he competed in this one time, like a long time ago, and did pretty well. But definitely, he was kind of like Tim's last student, his last Padawan Jedi in scale.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, it was literally like that. He's like, okay, I'll take on one more student, and then basically he's kind of retired.
Right.
So it's just kind of cool to see that he developed that friendship with Charlie, and he took him under his wing, and this is where he's at. He's competing today as we speak at the world level. So
that's crazy. It's amazing. Yeah. Well, we're wishing him the best of luck, and we'll have to keep updates on what's going on over there and see how well they do. I think they're posting the results on their bulletins every day when they come out. So
yeah, I'm gonna keep checking that.
Yeah, I think
post some stuff on our Facebook page
on Saturday. I believe is the first, the 10th. Actually, that's that'd be tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So tomorrow's the 10th.
And I'm
recording
pretty
this
sure we can twist his arm, and he'll probably come join us on the show. So not 100% guarantee, but my guys are pretty willing to join up and put up with our shenanigans on here. So
we do have some shenanigans here.
Yes, we do.
Well, in the just a few minutes we have left, I went to go fly my my erratics this week, and Jay and I've been on the phone. Jay and I've been on the phone a couple of times because I was so excited. In case you weren't noticing, I got my new batteries. If you're on our YouTube channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. But you can see here I'm holding up a 600 milliamp Spectrum
6,000
battery. Whatever. It's not 6,000, 600. It's a 3S. It's the one that came recommended, and I was super excited. I called Jay when I got home from my trip after the demons, got out of my body, and I was like, hey man, I think I'm going to go fly this erratics because we got to have subject for the podcast, and so yeah, I was super excited. Only problem was, I don't know if you can see it, but that's a IC20. Sorry about that.
Yep.
IC20. Nothing. Have no way to charge that. I don't have any. Nope. I have nothing that will fit this. And just to show you the size difference, this is an XT30. And I looked everywhere. Jay and I were walking around. He's like, just stick some wires in there. And I'm like, I really don't just want to shove wires in these holes. Yeah, it's proprietary, which Spectrum is, but even their chargers, this won't fit their chargers. They take an IC3 to charge. So there's an adapter that fits on here and then exchanges to the IC3, and Spectrum's out. So, so they're back ordered. And so Jay and I spent all day yesterday on the phone, and I'm just frustrated, because I'm just like, are you kidding me?
I just thought of a place where you might be able to get those. Thingiverse.
Yeah, I didn't even think about. Well, I don't know. They're fairly new.
Print one. Well,
it's a little too late.
I'm just putting it out there. I know. Should have thought of it yesterday.
I know you should have thought of that yesterday, but so yeah, evidently there's no way to charge that, and there's nothing, boards, no switches, nothing. You have to have something that plugs into either the XT90, EC3, EC5. So you have to have something that will charge, plug into your charger. And I actually have that octopus thing. It's got like 19 or 20 different, ends on it. I pulled that out. I'm just running around my whole shop, and I'm like, I cannot believe I have an entire, RC store in this room in parts, and I have nothing that will fit that. So I had to jump online and look around. Now, luckily, the actual connectors are available. So I ordered some male connectors for that one. And then what I'll do is I'll put one on the end of a JST connector, so it'll go from the IC20 to a JST, and then I'll put one on a EC3, so it'll go to my EC3. So I have both of those connectors that will actually charge, but I have to wait. They come in tomorrow because I had to order them last night. Jay and I were talking, but it was a bummer. I was always super excited, and then I was just like, Jay's like, just fly it anyway. I was like, well, I don't want to puff my brand new battery if I go out there and fly it, and because it's in a storage charge, so it's only 50%. I can check it because it has the it has the checkered
I have something that I'm not in Arizona, but I had something that might have worked.
Yeah.
So prior to Spectrum creating the smart battery system, ISTT, who makes the chargers for them, had their own version. It's called BATGO.
Oh.
Same thing, same technology, but with the XT connectors.
Right.
And what happened is Spectrum fully bought the licensing to the smart technology. So ISTT, even though their chargers, some of them had that technology and had the orange plug in the XT, it doesn't work. Well, I had one charger that still would kind of work, so I ordered the XT60s that are the orange ones with the little center pin. And I have both male and female. So that's something that down the road could possibly remedy that. But they would work with that just from the XT60 to the to that. If you had to swap out the battery, make it still work with the smart technology.
For the center pin doesn't have anything to do with the charging. It only has to do with the data.
Telemetry.
Yeah, the telemetry.
Yeah.
So I don't really, and because this is all 3 female the female version of it, I wasn't too worried about, plugging this into something. The male version of this that has the pin, I definitely would have to have something, take the center pin out or do something with it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, the little adapter that plugs on here that makes it IC3 or EC3 or whatever. They were out of that, so unfortunately. So I was kind of bummed out, and so I got to wait till tomorrow. And then, luckily for me, I just have to crimp the JST, the red one. Then I can plug this in and charge as many batteries as I need to. So I ordered a little pack of 5 males, and I've got a bunch of little JST, pigtails that already have the end on them. I just have to, crimp them in, and good to go. So anyway, I was a little bummed, but whatever. I called Jay. I'm like, he was good though. He was giving me all kinds of, well, what if we did this and what if we did that? Every single thing he told me sounded like a major fire hazard and blowing up my stuff, but he was giving me good ideas. So I have to give him credit for that.
Hey, when was the last house that I burned down? Huh?
I understand that you haven't.
Exactly.
But you have to clarify, when was the last time that you almost burned the house down? Because that's different. There hasn't been a house fire, but there has been very close calls.
Well, there's been some big sparks. There's been some other stuff, but it hasn't always been my fault.
Running through the house with the battery in your hand. I think Mike was there last time something like that happened.
Mike seems to be part of all those sparking incidences. So
we're gonna call him Sparky from.
There's your common denominator. So
there you go.
We need to call Fire Marshal Bill.
That's right. I know, that's so funny. Well, unfortunately, our time is up. We are looking forward to the World Championship to hear how Tim has done. And,
USA.
Yeah, definitely.
USA.
Yes, go ahead there.
Right.
It's kind of, Olympics were just here, and now we've got something that affects us a little bit more in the FAI 2024 World Championship. So best of luck to Tim and the U.S. team over in Romania. I know they're going to have a busy week starting on Saturday, but we're looking forward to seeing how it goes. And then what else? I think that does it. I actually started putting the servos back into this one, so as soon as I get them all centered and put back together, that'll be off my table and ready to go. And other than that,
just make sure it's ready for the
unobtainium servos that you got.
Yes,
right?
They finally showed up there for 6.5 months.
They're rare, unobtainium.
No, just have them ready for we start a Ramada repair today, and we're gonna have a fun fly probably in the next couple of weeks.
Perfect.
So
yep, I will definitely have to have it ready for that, and that will definitely be fun. So yeah, I want to have that ready, and then like I said, tomorrow when these things come in, I'll get those soldered up, and then I'll be able to charge those and give a report back to Scott. So as he's been asking, hey, you flown that thing yet? And I'm like, I know it.
He should have warned you. Hey, you need to order.
Well, he didn't even think about it either. Actually, when he talked about it, he apologized. He's like, I didn't even think about that. And I was like,
it just works.
I go, that's the thing, is that I have enough people that I've purchased airplanes for that I already start thinking about, okay, when they get this, they don't have the battery, they don't have the receiver, they don't have something that's, if I want it to be available to fly right when they get it, I usually wind up, throwing in the batteries or the, adapters or something. So in this particular case, neither one of us really knew it. Oh, my light just went on. Neither one of us really knew it. So it was kind of a learning lesson for us. So, but anyway, from Michael here in Arizona.
And Jay here from the hills of Texas.
And Shannon G from Mesa AZ, but currently in
there you
Washington.
Go. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Let's fly.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.